The life and sad ending of Robert Redford. Charles Robert Redford Jr. was born on August 18, 1936, in Santa Monica, California, to Martha, from Texas, and Charles Robert Redford, an accountant for Standard Oil, who was originally from Connecticut. He is of English, Scottish, Cornish, and Irish ancestry. Robert's mother died in 1955, the year after he graduated from high school. Robert was a scrappy kid who stole hubcaps in school and lost his college baseball scholarship at the University of Colorado because of drunkenness. An alumnus of the American Academy of Dramatic Arts, class of 1959. He decided on a career as a theatrical designer in New York. Enrolling at the American Academy of Dramatic Art, he turned to act, making his stage debut in Tall Story. In 1962 he was signed for the stage production of Barefoot in the Park, which was a smash hit, but it wasn't until 5 years later when it was filmed that he became an important star. Television and stage experience coupled with all-American good looks led to movies and television roles. His breakthrough role was the Sundance Kid in Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid when the actor was 33. The Way We Were and The Sting, both in 1973, made Redford the #1 box office star for the next 3 years. Redford used his clout to advance environmental causes and his riches to acquire Utah property, which he transformed into a ranch and the Sundance Ski Resort. In 1980, established the Sundance Institute for Aspiring Filmmakers. Its annual film festival has become one of the world's most influential. Redford's directorial debut, Ordinary People, won him the Academy Award as Best Director in 1981. He waited 8 years before getting behind the camera again, this time for the screen version of John Nichols' acclaimed novel of the Southwest, The Milagro Beanfield War. He scored with critics and fans in 1992 with the Brad Pitt film A River Runs Through It, and again, in 1994, with Quiz Show, which earned him yet another Best Director nomination. Lola Van Wagenen dropped out of college to marry Redford on August 9, 1958. They divorced in 1985 after having 4 children, one of whom died of sudden infant death syndrome. Next, he married Sybil Zaggers. So far, what you need in old life is a life of peace. With the enthusiasm of youth, burning with the flame of my own eternal passion. Robert Redford gave what is truly precious. His career was hard days of sweat and effort. He has appeared in 3 films that have been selected for the National Film Registry by the Library of Congress as being culturally, historically or aesthetically significant: Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, The Sting, and All the President's Men. Despite this, none of the films he has directed are in the registry. In the early 1970s, Paramount had plans to remake Double Indemnity with Redford in the Fred MacMurray role. The project never got off the ground. He is a national member of Kappa Sigma, the fraternity he was a member of while attending the University of Colorado. He was a pitcher on the University of Colorado baseball team, before losing his scholarship due to drinking. Has done 11 period pieces, including Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, The Sting, The Natural, and Out of Africa. He is the founder of the Sundance Film Festival, which he named after his character from the movie Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. He and famed Brooklyn Dodgers pitcher Don Drysdale were in the same high school graduating class. Has appeared in 7 movies dealing with adultery in some form or another: The Way We Were, The Great Gatsby, Out of Africa, Havana, Indecent Proposal, The Horse Whisperer, and The Clearing. Redford and his films were spoofed in Cracked magazine as Rollicking with Redford, which was reproduced in the mass-market paperback Half Cracked by Dell in 1974. He appeared in 5 films written by William Goldman: Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, The Hot Rock, The Great Waldo Pepper, All the President's Men, and A Bridge Too Far. Ranked 29 in Empire magazine's The Top 100 Movie Stars of All Time list. In 1995, chosen by Empire magazine as one of the 100 sexiest stars in film history. Was considered for the role of Michael Corleone in The Godfather. German painter Sybil Zaggers has been his longtime companion since 1996. He received a Chevalier of the French Ordre des Arts et des Lettres for his work through the Sundance Institute, promoting the independent film. Mentioned in the theme song of the 1980s TV hit The Fall Guy. Lost out on the role of Ben Braddock in The Graduate because director Mike Nichols didn't think anyone would believe Redford would have trouble getting the girl. In 2004, in addition to being the graduation speaker for Bard College's 144th commencement, he also received an honorary Doctor of Humane Letters degree from the college. He was voted the 30th greatest movie star of all time by Entertainment Weekly. Was originally attached to the verdict but dropped out prior to production because he didn't want the character to be such a loser. Director Sidney Lumet was dismayed by Redford's demands to change the script. The role of Frank Galvin was taken over by his friend Paul Newman, who won an Oscar nomination. After his suggestions of Warren Beatty, Alain Delon and Burt Reynolds to play the role of Michael Corleone in The Godfather were rejected by Francis Ford Coppola, Paramount production chief Robert Evans suggested Redford. When Coppola demurred, preferring his first choice of Tony Award-winning Broadway actor Al Pacino, Evans explained that Redford could fit the role as he could be perceived as Northern Italian. Evans lost the struggle. Pacino was cast and a star was born. Dislikes watching his own films. The only film in which he was completely satisfied with his own performance was The Sting. 2005. Premiere Magazine ranked him as 17 on a list of the greatest movie stars of all time in their Stars in Our Constellation feature. He is an environmental conservationist and often advocates and supports natural causes. Ranked 53 in Empire Magazine's 100 Sexiest Movie Stars of All Time. Appeared in 7 movies that were directed by Sidney Pollack. This Property is Condemned, Jeremiah Johnson, The Way We Were, 3 Days of the Condor, The Electric Horseman, Out of Africa, and Havana. They also both appeared in War Hunt. Directed 4 actors in Oscar-nominated performances: Mary Tyler Moore, Judd Hirsch and Timothy Hutton in Ordinary People, and Paul Scofield in Quiz Show. Hutton won for his performance in Ordinary People. Lyrics to Mel Tillis' song Coca-Cola Cowboy refer to an Eastwood smile and Robert Redford hair. As a guest on Inside the Actors Studio, Redford confessed to host James Lipton that his favorite and least favorite words were, respectively, possible and whatever. During the filming of All Is Lost 2013, Redford was so repeatedly soaked by a huge water hose, he suffered an infection in his left ear that ultimately cost him 60% of his hearing. As of 2014, has appeared in 4 films that were nominated for the Best Picture Oscar: Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, The Sting, All the President's Men, and Out of Africa. Of those, The Sting and Out of Africa are winners in the category. And in addition, directed 2 more films that were nominated for the Best Picture Oscar: Quiz Show and the winner Ordinary People. Robert Redford, one of Time magazine's 100 most influential people in the world. He appeared in 2 Best Picture Academy Award winners, The Sting and Out of Africa, and directed another, Ordinary People. Along with Delbert Mann, Jerome Robbins, James L. Brooks, Kevin Costner, and Sam Mendes, he is one of only 6 people to win the Academy Award for Best Director for their directorial debut: Mann for Marty Robbins for West Side Story, Redford for Ordinary People, Brooks for Terms of Endearment, Costner for Dances with Wolves and Mendes for American Beauty. He was awarded the Presidential Medal of Freedom, the nation's highest civilian award, by President Barack Obama, in a live televised ceremony held in the East Room of the White House, on November 22, 2016, along with 20 other recipients, the largest, and final Medal of Freedom ceremony of Obama's presidency. Nominated for the 2019 Golden Globe Award in the Best Performance by an Actor in a Motion Picture, Musical or Comedy category for his role as Forrest Tucker in The Old Man and the Gun in 2018, but lost to Christian Bale for Vice. What we see is a lifetime of Robert Redford's efforts. Many rumors say, he's dead, but no, he's just not acting anymore. He's 87 this year. What we see is the time to take away our youth. How many times are we young? 10 years. Wish everyone good health.